really quite happy with the progress that I'm making on my animation. I've blocked out all the keyframes. I've really created some really wonderful pieces of artwork that I think capture the movement. I've timed everything out, and now I'm ready to start making all of my in-between frames. Here's the animation that we have so far. Just play it real fast, and it's starting to look pretty good. I'm very happy with the timing, so I want to advance on to the next stage, which is the crafting of the in-betweens. Up until now, the drawings that we've been doing have been relatively simple. Squares, spheres, things that didn't include a tremendous amount of points. Well, now we're working with the bow and arrow, and the complexities of our drawings have gone up. Drawing all of our in-betweens might turn into a little bit of an issue here. So what we have access to is a wonderful tool called the Interpolate tool, which is going to go in and help us pose our in-betweens frames for us automatically. Now, one of the things that we have to be very, very mindful of when looking to use and incorporate the the Interpolate tool to help us draw all of our in-betweens is that we need to make sure that we haven't added any new points into the strokes between keyframes. If you look at what I got going on in here, here's the first keyframe, and simply all that I've done between my keyframes is bend those points back. I didn't redraw the frames. I didn't add or delete any points from the strokes within inside the frames, so I can easily use the Interpolate tool for me to automatically kind of flow these points back and forth between the different frames. So that's a critical part of this, is that the drawings at kind of their DNA level need to be created with the same number of points and in the same order. So you got to be careful of that. If you've gone and redrawn all these frames, this is not going to work in those situations. But this one is a perfect application for using the Interpolate tool. Let me show you how it works. There's a little bit of setup that we need to do before we can run the Interpolate tool. The first, and probably the thing that people often miss, is that we have to select the range of keyframes we want to interpolate between. Remember, the computer is going to go in and look at the first one, the first keyframe, and the second keyframe, and it's going to try to figure out where to place the drawing in between those keyframes. We're establishing a range of frames that we want to transition our drawings between. So I've used the box select tool to grab the first and second keyframes in my drawings. The second thing that we need to do is that we need to go in and enable multi-frame editing. Just turn it on, it's right there inside of our viewport, and we're ready to rock and roll. So yours may look a little bit different. In this particular moment, I've gone in and I've deactivated the visibility of my onion skinning, which is right here. Yours may look like this. I like having my onion skinning off in this moment, but you can certainly do and perform however you'd like. That's cool too. Now the third step, and this is actually really important, is that we need to select the strokes in the correct order. If you remember carefully, this drawing here on the far left, there we go. This is the drawing, okay, the one that's gold at the moment, for our first keyframe, and the ghosted onion skin drawing is our second keyframe. We need to select the strokes in the correct order. So I'm going to grab the stroke for the first drawing first, and then I'm going to hold down the shift key and grab the second stroke from the second drawing. Because I have my multi-frame editing system enabled, I can select and work off of the strokes of multiple frames at the exact same time. So I got all that set up, and now I'm ready to go. The fourth and final step here is that we need to place our playhead down in our timeline in a frame that doesn't include a keyframe on it quite yet, okay? So don't leave your playhead parked on a frame that's already got a keyframe. All right, I want to start figuring out, let's just go to frame 10, frame 9, that's good too, kind of right in the middle of our animation. Just do a quick double check. I got the strokes selected, yep, in the correct order. And with all of that setup complete, we can go and use the Interpolate tool, which is this guy way over here. This is the Interpolate tool inside of our toolbar, okay? And with that tool, check it out. I'm going to fire it off. I'm going to left click and drag inside of my interface, and it's going to figure out where to put the drawings and kind of transition and warp the points of our strokes where we want it to go at that moment in time. If you look down here in our timeline, we have a new keyframe type. This is called a breakdown keyframe. It's got a different color to it, and we can move and work and edit with these breakdown keyframes exactly like we would any other keyframes. And what this allows us to do is to very quickly go in, just with the interpolation tool, and start to hand animate this. I'm just using the interpolation tool to go in. I'm on keyframe 4 right now. Keyframe 5. You can see how easy and quick this is going. And just very quickly interpolate between these two drawings. Oops, I think I made a mistake on this one, but that's okay. I'll just redraw it. And you can see what we get. Let's do shift play. Yeah, I have a double keyframe in there somewhere. I have some editing that I need to do, but it's a fast way. It's right in there. I think I got a double. So I got to go in and delete the keyframe. That was just me being a little bit sloppy with my keyboard shortcuts right here. But the interpolate tool is going to automatically kind of warp from one keyframe to another keyframe automatically for us, which is very, very cool. Now, the interpolate tool allows us to go in and hand animate all of our in-between frames. We get to determine the spacing and how far each of the drawings move in between these keyframes. However, if we want to use it from a little bit more of a programmatic perspective, let's use a slightly different approach. Same setup. I'm going to select the keyframes between this pose and when the bow goes boing, when we release the arrow, right there. That's when we release the arrow. Bong, that's when the bow fires off. And check it out. I'm going to use something a little bit different. It's going to use the exact same setup. So I got to select my keyframes down here. I got to go in and make sure that I got my strokes selected up on upstairs. I'm going to go back to my box selection mode. Grab that one. Grab this one first. Grab that one second. And now, instead of going into the interpolate tool, I'm going to go into the grease pencil pull down menu and choose interpolate sequence. Now what this does for us automatically is that it goes in and creates a whole bunch of keyframes for us on that layer. Automatically. Boom. Check it out. So instead of having to go in and do each one by hand, we lose a little control, but it's going to do it for us. Yep. I did the wrong range of keyframes in my timeline, but that's okay. Hopefully you'll see the idea is that it does all the other stuff for us like magic. So there's two different ways for the computer to help us generate all of these in-between frames using the interpolate tool and the interpolate sequence settings. I think you're going to find that they're a fantastic addition to our animation toolset, one that will help you craft your animations a little bit faster and definitely more efficient.